So yeah, I wanted to get across the sense of how much I've been grinding in the game. I look at the videos I do as preserving kind of like a scrapbook of this was the game I was playing at that time. And so it's pretty boring, to put like 4 to 8 hours of grinding, which is what this will end up being. Like it's already been at least 4 hours. But, Pokemon Vega is a ROM hack version of Generation 3 that is one of the more challenging games of Pokemon you can play. And it involves a lot of grinding. And the idea is that you would have your emulator at 4 times speed or whatever. And you would just be able to kind of do this different kind of style of grinding in Pokemon. And that's part of why there's just such extensive grinding in this game. That's the only way you can be victorious. Some people think that it's not as good of a difficulty as a version of a ROM hack such as Pokemon Cobalt, because it's just really an unbalanced game. And I've not played Cobalt yet, but I would say that, yeah, it's pretty unbalanced. When you go to the gym leader, they have an item on their really strong Pokemon, their lead Pokemon, that gives them a really good advantage. They get critical hits all the time. They have a ridiculous move set that is so difficult to deal with. So it's on balance, but the key thing is, are you having fun? And I'm having a lot of fun with it. I've always loved grinding in Pokemon. It's a typical kind of strategy so that I can see what every Pokemon is like. And I think that because there are Fakemon, such as these fan created Pokemon are called, you know, like my starter that I'm using, that's the fire type starter that I'm using in the game, the kind of fire sentry thing, or whatever you want to say. So I think that that makes the grinding fun because I'm interested to see what new move they'll learn, or what they'll evolve into. But yeah, the boulder puzzle was one of the most difficult. I think it's the most difficult Pokemon puzzle I've ever done, of a fan translated one. But yeah, that's Pokemon Vega in a nutshell. And the video, it's a pretty boring video. I mean, if you just want something in the background. But again, for me, the point of the video is so I can look back and look at maybe this like 20-minute video and realize I was grinding for like 4 hours at this point. And generally what my team looked like, and what I was doing. So I want to get my starter to like level 48, or excuse me, 58 is what I'm trying to say, roughly. I think if I get to level 60, it won't listen to me anymore. And the gym leader has a Metagross, which in my mind, a Metagross is pretty much a semi-legendary, and that's pretty much one of their best Pokemon. And so Metagross, Steel type, Psychic type, Fire is one of its weaknesses. My starter is a Steel and Fire type, interestingly enough. So I feel like if it has some Steel type moves it's going to use, I'll have an advantage. I changed the moveset of my starter so that it has harsh, it's called Metal Sound, and it harshly lowers their special defense in particular. And then he also knows the one metal type attack, steel type attack is what I should be saying, that harshly raises your defense. And so the idea is that I'd be able to kind of wall myself, and then I'd weaken you, and I'd be able to really take you out. And so hopefully I have enough of an advantage against the Metagross at that point. And then I'm also leveling up it's Atropius. Its name is HM Bitch, Hidden Machine Bitch. And the idea is, in Pokemon, you usually have a hidden machine Pokemon. But it's learning all the hidden moves so that you can just kind of have this one along with you just in case you need to push that boulder or rock climb Mount Vesuvius today, or whatever it happens to be, right? So, it's just what I've always nicknamed them. Like Golduck is another big HM bitch, and you know I have my home videos, and you'll see a lot of HM bitches that are Golducks. But I'm trying to level it up with the EXP share so that it can at least contend in battle somewhat. So I can have it, you know, in my party all the time, but it's actually has some viability when it comes to battling too. And you know, surprisingly, like Fly is a pretty decent move. Rock Smash can lower their defense. It's a pretty decent move. Strength is decent enough, you know. So anyway, that's kind of Pokemon Vega, what I'm doing right now. My starter does have a lucky egg equipped right now, so it's getting a bit of boosted experience. And my friend Velo and I, you know, traded Pokemon when we were living near each other at that time. We don't live near each other anymore, unfortunately. I really miss him, but you know, that way you can get boosted experience. And that's why I have, for example, Balrus, the Whaleren, in my party, because it gains boosted experience and it's a really good Pokemon. Whaleren is a dang good Pokemon, so that way I could at least get boosted experience, even though I'm having to grind even more than I would in a typical Pokemon game.